Oh my gosh, I'm here. Let me know if you can see me and hear me because I haven't done this in a long time. I'm going to write down some things I might want to talk about today. I'm only going to go live for about an hour. I'm setting a timer right now because I get overwhelmed, especially because I have not been doing this recently and I never was great at streaming, and especially now that it's been months, years. How long has it been since I streamed, guys? I don't even know. Hi, guys. Hello in the chat. It's so nice to see you. I'm currently setting my timer so I don't go overboard and burn myself out and freak myself out. But it's so nice to see you. Hi, Gen X. Thank you for being here. And DJ Fox. And wow, this is a long name. I know who this is. And you've changed your name recently. Taylor Swift greater than Disney, Star Wars, and MCU, and Doctor Who. Okay. Hi, guys. It's really good to see you. I'm going to write down a few things that I want to talk about today. Assuming you guys want to talk about it, we're going to interface with each other. We're going to have a little dance tonight. There are several things I want to talk about. I'm going to give you guys the options and let me know what you think is most interesting. One is that 1917 is probably the best film, technically speaking, that I've probably ever seen. I think it was phenomenal, and I'm just so razzed up about that movie. I understand not everybody has seen it, and I only saw it recently, even though it came out a couple years ago, and oh my gosh, it was so good. So 1917, if you guys want to talk about it, we could talk about it. Another thing we could talk about is anything existential. You guys know I'm into philosophy and existential stuff and anything to do with life and life's purpose and that sort of thing. These are things that I'm currently working on. So I'm just going to write like existential things. Existential things. We're going to talk about existential things if you want to. Under that umbrella, death and loss, grief. I have quite a few friends that have been through death and loss and grief in the last couple of years. It's like a universal consciousness thing. It's a universal thing we all have to go through. Some haven't been through it yet. And I want to see if we can find like a reasonably light, interesting way to talk about it. And then whatever you guys want to talk about. So, oh yeah, DJ Fox said Nova in the back. Oh, Dimagini, thank you so much for your super chat. It's great to see you. Hi, Steve. Gen X says, please talk about the Acolyte. Oh, that's another thing I need to get out of the way. I don't watch Star Wars stuff anymore. I've been so overwhelmed with how much has been coming out, and I honestly feel like that chapter of my fandom is closed for now. And I don't know if or when I will reopen it. I will always love the original trilogy. You guys know that if you know me at all. But right now, I'm waiting because so many people will tell me to watch something and then I watch it. I'm like, doesn't do it for me. So we'll see. We'll see. I haven't seen it. Hi, Caffeinated Wolf. Hi, Soul Assassin. Hi, Timothy Nelson. Greetings from a boomer. Boomers are most welcome. Riggs, great to see you. Caffeinated Wolf says, I'm down for anything positive. Same. That's another thing I'd love to talk about is how we attach ourselves to story and how I've become very aware that I do not vibe with people or energy that is negative for the sake of being negative, complaining for the sake of complaining, victim narratives, and I just find it to be incredibly draining. And that's a new thing that I've recently discovered in these last few years. So we'll write like, I'm going to write complaining. And I think that's become a new form of currency for people. I've noticed that really pop up in the last year and a half, 2 years, is a lot of people almost seem to think that the more that they can complain, the more valuable they are, or the more seen they are, at least, which is, I don't think it's a healthy way to be. Hi, Iron Raiden and Taylor Swift, greater than Disney, Star Wars, and MCU and Doctor Who. Thank you so much for the $1 super chat. Zuby says, I refuse to believe Disney Star Wars is canon. Yeah, I haven't been watching any of the Disney Star Wars stuff. I know a lot of you guys love it. I know a lot of people that really enjoy it. Something about it, I just can't do the Disneyfication. I know they're trying to do it dark and gritty and it's like a Western. Is it though? Like, is it really though? I've seen some great films over the last few years, 1917 being one of them. And I was blown away with that film. Let me know if any of you guys have seen that. Guru Goat says, my 3 3/4 cats say hi. How do you have 3 3/4 cats? Well, tell them I say hello. Hi, the dudes, 1764. Hello, Kermit Frog. Yes, Caffeinated Wolf says, how about choosing to focus on positive things we love instead of that which we don't? I cannot agree more. And I often find that focusing on the negative drives you directly in towards the negative and drives negative things towards you. I really, without getting into anything too wooey, focusing on the negative just brings more of that into your life. I agree with that. I think suffering and pain and strife is inevitable in life, but by focusing on it, it just, no, yeah, that could be a great topic for sure. Yeah. Jesus Villasenor says, complaining is what every YouTuber does, though. It's all about clout and views. I don't watch that kind of stuff anymore. I don't partake in that. I try to only partake in things that either better me, challenge me to be better, or uplift me in one way or another. And it's honestly shifted. It's changed my whole life. I feel way better, but it's still challenging. Being a human in general is challenging. I think we can all agree with that, regardless of our circumstances, our upbringing, and our current life choices and values. I think life is always challenging no matter who you are. But within that challenge comes beautiful meaning sometimes, assuming we choose to focus on the meaning. Yeah, Soul Assassin says being negative all the time doesn't keep people around. DJ Fox says it's not those things. I wish it was. Oh, I don't know what you're referring to. Oh, Kermit Frog says, I have happy news. I found out that I'm going to be an uncle for the first time in December. I'm excited. Congratulations. That's really cool. That's beautiful. Benzo H. Hi, Benzo. Hi, Krista Joe. Hi, Chris Olivio. Ooh, Gen X says, can we talk about how society is now at the lowest rung of Maslow's hierarchy of needs? That's a really interesting let me refresh my memory on Maslow's hierarchy. Actually, I'll do it with you guys. Let me see if I could share my screen. I don't remember how to do any of this stuff, guys. Hang on. How do I share my screen? Let me see if I can find it. Okay, let me look up Maslow's hierarchy. First, we're going to show this pyramid. Oh, physiological needs. Yeah, great point. Okay. Present. I think I'm going to, let's see if I can do this. Share screen. Okay, share screen. Sorry, guys. I'll never be a professional at this kind of stuff. Okay, share. Here we are. This is Maslow's hierarchy of needs. This one looks good enough. So let's see the photo. So at the bottom, we have physiological needs: air, water, food, shelter, sleep, clothing, reproduction. So Gen X is saying that we feel basically modern society is at the bottom right now. I think we could argue that, obviously there's always room for multiple different people to be at different areas here. But I would definitely agree that most people are not on the top, which is self-actualization, desire to become the most that one can be. Wow. Yeah. So fascinating. 1917 was awesome, says Guru Go. I have 3 3/4 cats because one's missing a leg. Oh, it's so cute. He's as sweet as wild mountain honey. That's so cute. Hi, Krista Joe. Oh, it's so nice to see you guys. Yeah, 1917 blew me away. I was so impressed with that film from every element, especially technically speaking. I could not get over the shots. The acting was phenomenal. The music was extraordinary. It's some of the best music I've heard in a film. And what I loved about it is that even though 1917 is a period piece, the music felt so modern, timeless, but also modern. And I have goosebumps just thinking about it. It was so good. Oh my gosh. Thomas Woodford says Rogue One was okay, same as the first 2 seasons of Mandalorian. Other Disney Star Wars movies I didn't care for. Yeah, Rogue One was one of the last properties I watched. I also watched like the first several episodes of Mandalorian just because everyone seemed to be losing their minds over it, and I just It wasn't really for me. I didn't love it. I didn't love the like CGI recreations of Luke Skywalker and stuff. It just felt very like I know what you're doing, Disney. You're trying to keep the old fans on while bringing in new fans, and I didn't love it. I didn't love it. Hi, Bone. Hi, Timothy Nelson. Hi, Soul Assassin. Jesus, it was great seeing you. Krista Joe, wait, I have a wrench? Wow, thank you. Oh, Guru Goat, thank you. Optic Racer. Optic Racer, I do not email or give my email out anymore. I learned my lesson with that a long time ago. I have enough to deal with. Yes, Krista Joe, orchestral music is the best. Yeah, Benzo H. I wish I saw 1917 in theaters. I did not. I watched it. I visited my dad recently and I saw 1917 with my dad. And it was honestly probably one of the best memories I have of watching any film with my dad, just because it was actually the last film my dad watched in theaters with my mom before she passed away. And it's very special to him, not just because of that memory, but because he was just blown away by it, the incredible level of just the fact that a film like that can still be made where you can tell that everyone involved was at the peak of their ability in production and creativity and skill and talent. It was just I still can't wrap my head around it. It's been almost 2 weeks, and usually I see a film and it moves me to some extent. I'll think about it for maybe a week, maybe a couple weeks, maybe a month. I can tell this is one of those films I'm going to be thinking about probably for the rest of my life and wanting to revisit, which is new for me because typically I don't love period films. I'm very particular with period films. And this one it just blew me away, and I just keep thinking about it. It just had such a deep resonance about it to me. It was so humanistic. And I saw Civil War a couple weeks before I saw 1917, and Civil War I think that also gained a lot of popularity because it acts kind of like a warning for today's society, the way things are going with the infighting between different groups of people, belief systems, ideologies, the news media, etc. And I actually felt that 1917, even though it was a period piece, was actually more effective as a deterrent for war and the current cultural misgivings we have. I actually thought that was more of a deterrent towards the possible outcomes that we could have as a species than Civil War was. And Civil War was effective. I appreciated it, but it did not move me the way 1917 did at all. Not even close. Okay, I need to catch up with the chat. Oh my gosh, Addis, thank you so much for your super chat. $20. That's so sweet. I was going to put the boys on and pass out, but I guess I should stay up for a bit and listen to the stream. That's so sweet. Speaking of the boys, I've heard that's really good, but I'm really nervous to watch it because I'm super squeamish. Like I have a really hard time watching violence, like especially gratuitous violence and lots of blood. So I'm really scared to watch it, but I've heard so many people say that it's really good and I really want to give it a try, but I'm really nervous. Let me know if you think I could handle it, but that's one thing I don't love is gratuitous violence. It just, I don't know, I can like I not feel it truly, but I can like, it just freaks me out. And then I keep thinking about it and yeah, I love horror. I'll watch like a really dark existential film, but if there's violence in it, especially if animals get hurt, I can't do it. I have to go to doesthedogdie.com and make sure I'm safe watching it. But Addis, thank you so much for your super chat. That's really sweet. Jen X says, yes, I love scary movies. No one will save you. Wait, no one will save you. What's that? What is no one will save you? Oh, hang on. Am I in the right place? No one will save you. Am I sharing my screen still? No, hang on. Let me keep sharing my screen. I like that. That's cool. It's like a cool way to show you guys what I'm looking at. Here we go. No one will save you. No one will save. Oh yeah, I did see that. I did. I didn't love it, but I appreciated it, if that makes sense. It was different. Um, it made me feel kind of claustrophobic, which I think was part of the intention of the creator, but yeah, I didn't let me think, let me see if I can jog my memory a little more with the images. Um, it was cool. I loved the set work and the set design was really cool, especially for the home. Um, I you know what it was? I didn't love the creature design, and I actually found that the aliens lost their spiciness, like, their ability to scare me after a while. Like, I just stopped being, because I know that they were supposed to be intimidating, and I think it's kind of like the Jaws effect, less is more. The more you see of the actual creature, the less you feel a little bit intimidated by it. You want an element of mystery, and after a while I remember, like, I hope this doesn't offend you, but I remember laughing at a few certain points just because it felt so, I don't know, I felt like they overused the alien, but I could see why you loved it because it was definitely a different film and it was fun, and I'm all for a good extraterrestrial thriller, but as far as, alien horror, my favorite will always be Alien, the original. Ninja Running Wild. My only issue was 1917 was there was a perfect opportunity for romance in the woman towards the end he finds in the building, but they did nothing with it. See, I feel like it would have been too Hollywood if they shoehorned a romance in. It would have, like, I liked that there was a subtlety and a nuance to it where you could see this kind of like they both looked at each other like, wow, there's another human here, and maybe in another setting they would have been compelled to be more um more likely to engage with one another in a flirtation or in some kind of like a courtship, but because of the setting, I mean, she was literally, I don't want to give a spoiler, but the French woman was hiding underground from the Germans, fearing for her life, and this English soldier was there and helping in one way for or another, but also fighting for his own, purpose at the time, and it just I feel like it would have made like a I don't know, it would have thrown me off a little bit. It would have felt a little too Hollywood for me if they made a romance out of it. It would have felt a little ham-fisted. But I know some people like the extra, stuff, and I do think there's an aching for more romantic tales these days because I don't know, I think a lot of people have just been disillusioned with the way things are going in the media, but yeah. A lot of old fans are gone with the wind. Love to see internet gone by 2027. Interesting to see how society reacts. I also had family in World War One. Wow, yeah. I wonder what that would take. That would take a lot to have the internet gone by 2027, but it would be interesting to see how people reacted. We'd see what people are really made of without the internet. And those of you who know me know I try to not spend as much time on the internet as possible. That's why I'm not on YouTube all the time, which is challenging in this day and age because most people spend a lot of time on the internet. So I feel kind of like an alien when I actually go out or come on here because I'm not the most well versed in internet etiquette all the time. Uh, Yadare Hay. Hi, Yadare Hay. Hi, Kelly. I agree. Saw the 1917 Ford versus Ferrari on the same day in theaters. Wow, that's an undertaking. Those are both long films, I think. With both, they felt they deserved the nominations they got. I still have to see Ford versus Ferrari. That's another one I've heard great things about. Benzo H says, hopefully we get more movies set in World War One. I don't think we have much. Yeah, I was really impressed with it, and the execution was phenomenal. Yeah, I know it's Matt G. Hi, Matt G. I was trying to remember if it was you. I knew who the Taylor Swift, greater than Disney, Star Wars, and MCU and Doctor Who was, but I couldn't quite pin it down. I wasn't quite sure it was you. Matt G, did you see the final season of Curb Your Enthusiasm? By the way, I know you like that show. I want to know what you thought of the ending, the season finale, or the series finale, excuse me. Ninja Running Wild says, I had family members in World War II, namely Bastong and Korea. So I'm always going to find that more interesting. Yeah, if you have a personal connection to it, for sure. I as well had family in those settings. Not in Bastong and Korea. Mine were in different parts of the world, but it's, yeah, there's a personal connection, and you see what it does to people in your immediate world and what it can take from people. So it's very powerful, and you see the resonance that it has. But that being said, I don't know that I had family in. I wonder if I had family probably in Europe for World War I, but I don't know that I don't have access to any personal stories that I'm aware of. By the way, the person who created 1917 based it off of, I believe, his grandfather's or great-grandfather's personal story. So that might be another reason they didn't put a romance in there, is that might not have been true to what actually happened. But I thought that was really beautiful that he shared his grandfather's stories in that way. Yeah. Okay, trying to keep up with the chat. Yeah, war is hard on families. Amen. I know. And I hope that we don't have to see another terrible one in this region in our lifetime, or for the lifetime of our children, our children's children. But who knows? Things aren't people people are going to people, humans are going to human. Guru Goat, I'm almost done editing my first book and writing my second. I tried to morph Token with Robert E. Howard's Conan and Ancient Mythology, which, speaking of which, dropped $1,500 on Rare Translation. That's awesome. Good for you. That's very cool. That sounds very compelling. As long as it's your own authentic voice, I think that writing something like that sounds incredible, and it sounds like you have a very unique perspective. So good for you. I'm gonna stop sharing the screen because we're not watching No One Will Save You anymore. Kermit Frog. So Fallout was okay. Show story was garbage, filled with plot holes. Everything else was decent, and they did their best. DJ Fox. DJ Fox says, please never watch The Boys. Okay. Can you elaborate? I'm curious, because most people are like, you need to see it. You need to see it. You're the first person I've seen that's like, please don't ever watch it. I'm very curious what your perspective is. Yes, Caffeinated Wolf. I can't handle movies where the dog dies. I can't, not the dog, not the cat, not the ferret, not the goldfish. I can't watch any animal. Oh my God. So I was actually thinking of making a video. I had, past tense, a moth infestation in my apartment recently. So a backstory is, I am someone where if there are insects in my home, assuming that they're not scary looking, like a centipede, which isn't even technically an insect because it has a lot of legs. I forget what family they're in, but they're not technically insects. Or a scary looking spider. And there's a difference between a cute spider and a scary looking spider. A scary looking spider, if you know, there are cute spiders. I will coexist with them. They can walk around, they can do their thing, they can live in my plants, they can walk on my walls. If it's a scary looking spider, I have a catch and release method that I almost always try to employ, assuming it's reachable. So I have a catch and release method with a jar. I get a big, I actually have it right here. So I'm going to give you guys these tips because these are great tips, because I believe in rehoming or catching and releasing animals in humane ways whenever possible. So for my moth infestation, in case any of you ever have a moth or other insect infestation, and assuming it's not a colonized insect like ants, you can't, unfortunately, I've looked into this. You can't just rehome ants because they will basically build a colony in your home. So very sadly, you have to get ants at the source, which is the queen. So you have to take them all the way out, which makes me very sad because I love ants and I think ants are so cute. And I've spent hours of my childhood watching ants in my driveway. Hashtag only child problems. Anyway, catch and release method for moths. Moths are so easy to catch, first of all. But anyway, let me try to stay on topic. I had so many moths. Once in a while, they'd fly by my head. It's been years, but there were only a few, maybe like, I don't know, 3 moths a week. And they're really the cute, tiny ones. So whatever. Oh, moth flew by. Okay. Sometimes they do some weird kamikaze stuff where I'd be cooking and they just fly into the flame on my stove. And I would always feel really sad when that happened. I don't know what happened, but I had a huge population jump in moths over the last month and a half or so, to the point where it was like every few minutes I was seeing moths. And I looked into methods to humanely get rid of moths. I found out that mothballs are really unhealthy for people and also unhealthy for your pets if you have any pets, because they contain a compound that when released as a gas basically just like it kills the moth, but it can also be really unhealthy for humans to inhale. And I have a tiny 7-pound cat, Nova, that I love, that I do not want inhaling that stuff either, because it's way more potent for a 7-pound cat than it is for me, a full-sized human. So the other option were sticky traps, which I just think are one of the most inhumane things possible, because you're trapping the animal in the adhesive and then they're just fluttering around and like pulling off their own wings, and I just didn't want to even think about that. So then this is where my jar comes in. You take your jar, pretend this is a wall. You take your jar, you very gently is the key. You put it over where the moth is, and then you very slowly and carefully move the jar. So you lightly touch the moth, just very lightly, and it flutters into the jar. It usually goes all the way into the jar. And then you don't even need a whole cap to screw on. You just go like this. And you can do this because the little moths that I have are they're pretty incompetent adversaries against my method. So I caught up to, I think, 3 moths in this at a time. And then I go and release them on my balcony and they just flutter away. And sometimes if it's dark out, this is the one caveat, is if it's dark out, they will flutter right onto me, onto my clothing. So I have to make sure it's light out. I can see where they go. I can see the trajectory and let them go. So another rule is I don't catch moths past nighttime. Kind of like giving gremlins water after a certain hour. So in the last week and a half, I'm so proud of myself. I think I've caught and released over 28 moths, and now I have 1 moth up there. And that is such a drastic change from what I was experiencing the last month and a half, because it used to be there would just be moths flying everywhere. I mean, there probably would have been a point where if I had live streamed a month and a half ago, there would have been moths here. So I'm very proud of myself for humanely finding a way. And I'm thinking about making a video on how to catch and release moths. And obviously I would be able to edit it and make it better than me just explaining it and rambling about it on a live stream. So thank you. And I hope that I inspired at least one person to save a multitude of moths in your home, because it's honestly, it's a wonderful, I feel very good about it. I feel better about myself. So yeah, that goes back to what doesthedogdie.com. Great website for animal lovers and people that don't want to see animals get hurt. Oh, and I also wanted to touch on, and I'm going to get to your super chats. I see the super chat. I'm going to get to them. Thank you guys so much for your super chats. I'm so excited to read them. And one last thing, for those of you that are into horror, I really liked, what was it called? Talk to Me. Talk to Me. And you don't have to go to doesthedogdie.com. I will happily say that and give no more spoilers. I really like Talk to Me. It was also made by 2 YouTubers, actually. And I was very impressed that it was their first film. It was very creative, very different. Okay. Macy, thank you so much for your super chat, Macy. It's always amazing to see you. Macy says, thank you. Thank you so much for $20, Macy. Oh my gosh. Kelly, just noticed you're streaming. Did you have a great time with your dad? Welcome home. May not be able to watch long, but we'll catch the rerun. Please scritch Nova for me. Macy, thank you so much. I had an amazing time with my dad. I was just telling everyone that I watched 1917 with my dad, and it's probably the best film I've seen, technically speaking, ever, because from a technical level it was phenomenal. But it's one of the better films I've ever seen, and I was really happy, and my dad and I had a great time. We did beautiful walks and hikes with his adorable and very funny Rottweiler Rook. So we had a great time. It was really special, and it's been really meaningful to reconnect with my dad over these years since my mom's passing. It was like the scariest thing I ever had to face was going home without my mom being there, but it's also been really, in a new way, beautiful and meaningful and purposeful. So it's an interesting and complex journey, but my dad and I have actually gotten closer than ever, and we've both been trying to grow as people, and it really pays off in our relationship. So thank you for asking, Macy. I really appreciate it. It was a wonderful time home. And thank you again so much for your super chat, Macy. That means a lot. I really appreciate it. And Z Corp Alpha also sent a super chat for $9.99. Thank you so much, Z Corp. People forget history, society doomed to repeat it. Amen. That is why it is so wonderful and powerful to at least have a most basic knowledge of not just history, but human nature, human disposition, the complexity of humankind, the complexity of the individual. Because I think when we start making blanket statements and believing that things should be one way, that is when we get into very dangerous territory. So yes, oftentimes the terrible moments in history come from very linear and one-sided thinking. So I could not agree more. Thank you so much for your super chat and perfect reminder. Aw. Benzo H says, though I haven't heard good things about Alien 3. Yeah, I don't think most people appreciated Alien 3, which ironically was from a very otherwise competent director. I believe Fincher did that one. But yeah. Gonk. Hi, Gonk. Oh, it's good to see you. And hi, oh my gosh, Ryan Dyer. Did you change the characters in your name to runes? That looks pretty cool. Hi, Ryan Dyer. It's good to see you. And Gonk says, oh my gosh, Kelly's streaming. We missed you. I missed you guys so much. I'm really glad I'm keeping up with the chat. Oh, Krista Joe, great question. What books are you reading right now? Any recommendations? Let me see. I'm actually reading a book on alchemy, which is really interesting. Let me see who wrote it. I have a few different books here. And then I keep my books all over because I rotationally read, so I read different books at a time. This one's actually written by a psychologist named Dr. Shefali Sabari. It's called The Awakened Family. It's just really fascinating because she delves into like childhood development and how our ego kind of affects our parents' ego affects how we grow up. Our ego affects how we raise our children. So if you're ever thinking about having children, if you have a family, or even if you just want to understand yourself better in the realm of how you grew up and how you interfaced with your parents, your culture, your home, it's very fascinating. She's a good writer. She's also a really good speaker, and she's a very beautiful woman. So she's very easy on the eyes to watch, and she's a wonderful speaker, and she's vastly intelligent. And she has a lot of insight into personal relationships and stuff like that. This alchemy one is by Dennis William Hawke. It's interesting. So it goes into alchemy. It kind of goes back and forth between like medieval times and ancient Egypt and then modern times, and basically talking about how like more so the power of transmutation. So a lot of, medieval alchemists were known for changing, compounds into other compounds. So you could make water into gold or something like that, water into wine and a stone into gold or whatever. But this version of alchemy is more so about transmuting your thoughts from transmuting your story and how you perceive things into something more powerful for you, so that you can kind of look at your obstacles and challenges as something to help you grow. So that's been very helpful for me. I know I have other books that I'm reading. I will always recommend Alan Watts's The Taboo Against Knowing Who You Are. That's my favorite book ever. And I read it like 8 times now. It's so good. But yeah, Krista, I'll let you know if I find any other books or if I see any others. I know I'm reading other ones. I just can't think. I finished another one recently that I really liked. But yeah. Oh, Ryan Dyer, Jedi Bunny live streams are my favorite. Jester Feathers, hi, Jester Feathers. I don't know what EMP means. EMP question mark. What is EMP? Let me look that up. See if I can answer. EMP. EMP. Hold tight, guys. I need to know what this is. EMP? Electromagnetic pulse? EMP. I don't know. I don't know, Jester Feathers. Maybe expand on the question. I don't know if I got it right. Ninja Running Wild. I want more Hollywood in Hollywood. There's enough reality already. Oh, the dude, 1764. Thank you so much for your super chat. Hello to you, Nova. I hope your dad visit went well. I'm hanging out with a new member of the house here. I rescued a kitty off the front porch in early spring. Gwen and Bo are still getting used to their new sister. What's her name? What's her name? Oh my gosh, that's so exciting. Oh, thank you so much for rescuing a kitty. That's beautiful. I love that. Oh, that's so cool. I want to know more about that. Good for you. And thank you so much for the super chat. 1999. I really appreciate it. And I am so happy when anyone rescues an animal. That makes my day. Caffeinated Wolf says, I don't need the internet gone, but internet blood sports need to go. I feel you, but I also feel like I unfortunately, the way human nature is, I can't imagine it going anywhere right now. But I feel you there. Benzo H, I'm 50-50 with my internet usage, but I'd be lying. Hi, Generation Productions. Caffeinated Wolf says Ford versus Ferrari was incredible. I saw it in theaters with my dad. I have to check that out. MJ1 Media says I want Tropic Thunder sequel to Les Grossman movie. I do love the idea of an unwoke like just like stupid comedy movie like Tropic Thunder coming out again. Like, oh my gosh, Tropic Thunder was such a different time for movies. But I think that'll come back. I think that'll come back around. I think even woke people are getting tired of the wokeness from a certain degree. We'll see. How long can they keep it going, you know? Optic Racer. Kelly, as I always tell you, that's one of the best things one can do for, well, oneself. Keeping away from the internet. Exceptions exist, of course, like the Y-Files. I expect you to check today's. Optic Racer. I've watched the Y-Files. I can't get past the talking fish, heckle fish. It just drives me crazy. I don't know. And the music, I like watching, I don't like watching like super produced YouTube. I guess that's kind of why I don't know why I like being very minimal with my YouTube is I don't know. I don't like when it feels like a show, like a produced show. And he's good. I'll say the Y-Files is good. It just feels almost too produced for me. I like watching kind of like stripped down, just people talking or doing interesting things. Like once in a while I'll watch something that's a production. Like I watched this Egyptology series with this female Egyptologist. She's amazing. She's British. She has like shortish red hair. She just loves Egypt. I'll watch that. That's kind of produced. It kind of feels more like an actual production series, but I kind of like, I don't know, I like lo-fi, low budget YouTube people that just feel like people recording in their rooms, like what I'm doing. I don't know. It's relatable. I like that. If I'm going to watch a production, I'm going to go to like Netflix or HBO or something. By the way, if anyone has Netflix, they put 6 Feet Under on Netflix, and that's one of my favorite series of all time, just in case you're wondering. And my other favorite series is probably The Wire, which Gary N recommended to me years ago when I first started my YouTube channel. I think he wrote it in one of my comments and said I would appreciate it. And he was so right, because The Wire and 6 Feet Under are probably my two favorite series of all time. Love them. Oh, Escape from New York. Yes, Optic Racer. I want to see that too. Ford versus Ferrari. I'll write it down since I have my notepad here. Ford v Ferrari. I think I saw. Did I see Escape? Escape. Let's write it down. From New York. Ryan Dyer's grandfather fought in World War II and survived. I'm glad, Ryan. Oh, crazy. Wow, Gonk says, had family defend against the Spanish in Philippines. Also, grandfather captured by the Japanese in World War II. Mother fled the country late 70s. Each generation faced their own tyrannies. Our turn, I guess. Yeah. Wow. It's incredible how short our collective memory is when you really think about it, that we're going back to these things. I had I think I've spoken about it. My grandmother, my monchuta, lived in Lithuania and my Papa Gus, and they had Soviets come in and basically force them to live the way that they wanted them to live. And they stole their farms from them. Um, and if you weren't going to live exactly the way that the Soviets wanted you to live, you basically had to flee, which my grandparents did. And most of my mochuta's family were killed in concentration camps. So it was incredibly brutal. And it's crazy that like it's what's fascinating to me, and one of the reasons I don't partake in the current news media, other than selecting certain things that I choose to inform myself on for myself, is that it's ironic to me that the things that they report on are choices, but then there are things going on in other parts of the world that are just as drastic or horrible or horrific, and they've been going on even longer, and yet they don't report on those things. So it just makes me think about, and that's really interesting that they're choosing what to report on, and they're choosing where they want the attention of the public to go. And I don't like being herded like sheep, so I don't partake in that personally. Jester Feather says the boys is okay. Oh, interesting. I've been hearing so many good things for years, but I have a couple people here tonight that are saying they don't love it. So, okay, maybe I won't watch it. I'm glad. Hey, anytime I can avoid seeing gratuitous violence, I will avoid it at all costs. So happy. Oh no, I'm really far behind. Yeah, any furry spider equals scary spider. Yes, Gen X. And brown recluse equals scary spider, says Ryan Dyer. Yes. Krista Joe, ooh, I bargain with insects. They can chill in my garage, but if they come inside my home, they're dead. Oh, I can't kill them. I can't do it. I can't kill them. I can't do it. I just feel bad. I can't feel the crunch. I can't think about it. I don't want, because as much as they're scary looking, I still think to myself, this is a life, and I value it. Like I can't. Even with my students, I will not, if I see a student squash a bug, like I will I will go over, and I will with my most like loving self be like, "Hey, that why'd you squash that?" And they'll tell me, and oh, it was gross, it was a bug, it was whatever. Okay, but was he hurting you? No, he wasn't hurting me. Okay, well, maybe he was just going about his life, and you can go about your life, and you can just keep going. I'll get into it further with them, as you know, per my moth rehoming description. But it's amazing how you can get through to kids, though, so much easier than adults, because I've had so many kids that I've gotten through to that tell me like years later, I won't touch a bug, I won't kill a bug. Like I'll rehome them, I will relocate them. But you tell an adult that, they'll just think you're crazy. Okay, DJ Fox, you don't like crazy gore and stuff. I love the show. I'm watching it now. I can elaborate on a scene or two that would make you say, "Oh, I'm not going to watch that." Okay. Okay, then that's enough for me. DJ Fox, I trust you. I think you know me well enough by now to know that I wouldn't want to see that. So thank you. I appreciate it. Cuz a lot of people say, "Oh, just close your eyes." But my thing is, I have to mute it, and I will cover my eyes so I don't have to see any gore. I don't want to see any gore. I don't want to think about it. I don't want to hear about it. I don't want to hear someone describe it. I don't want a callback to it later. I avoid it at all costs. Viking turtle, didn't your cat exterminate the moths? She would catch a few of them. She would. And I'm not going to fight her nature. She's a cat. She's inevitably going to do her thing with insects. And unless it's a super cute insect and I can intervene fast enough, I'll usually let her do her thing. But if I can intervene and it's super cute, like one time she caught one of those really cute fluffy white moths. It was so cute, and I had to intervene with that one, and I luckily got to it before she did any real damage and let it go. But when I lived in New York, I lived in a basement apartment, and it was so damp in there, we would get centipedes. If any of you are familiar with centipede, I'm going to show you. Okay, so don't look if you don't like if you I'm going to get freaked out looking at this. I'm braving this for you guys. I hope you appreciate my bravery right now. These are oh god, I hate it. Oh my god. Okay, hang on. Present. Get ready, guys. Share screen. If any of you are familiar with these, dear Lord, oh Do you see this? These? Oh, I hate it so much. Oh my god, look, but you know what? When you zoom in on its face, it's kind of cute. Oh, I never saw a face. Hang on. Wait. Oh, that's kind of cute. Can I expand it? I guess I don't have a touch screen computer. I can't expand it. Oh, it's so cute though. Do you see that face? That's actually kind of cute. But look at the body. Ugh, see, that's what gets me. It's the body. The face is kind of cute, but I can't do the body. And they move so fast. They move so fast. But Nova was like a little assassin. And I would point them out to her. I'd say, Nova. And I'd bring her over to it and she'd go get it and she would kill it and she would eat it. She would eat them. She was awesome. Nova was amazing, but we don't get them here. So I feel very lucky about that. The climate here is much more dry. We're on the 3rd floor. We're not in a basement anymore, but living in a basement in a humid, moist area like New York, those centipedes. I just realized the chat went down to 29. I think it was at 32 before. I think we lost a few guys. Nobody wants to see the house centipedes. I'm sorry. I'm taking them away. Sorry. They're really disturbing. Ryan Dyer, cedar balls seem healthy. Yes, cedar does help with the moths, but I had cedar rings that I put around all my hangers. And I also had lavender packets. I swear I would find the moths hanging out on the cedar rings. They didn't care. They didn't care. I don't know if they were like impervious to cedar, these types of moths. They're like the really small ones, but yeah, the grove mothballs do smell terrible. Okay, I'm really behind. Oh my god, I'm really behind on the chat. I'm sorry, guys. Okay, I'm getting back. Okay. I'm 20 minutes behind. I'm so sorry. Okay, guys. Okay. Okay, I'm back with the chat, guys. Jester Feather says centipedes look like bacteria. Yeah, it's horrifying, isn't it? Disturbing. Oh, Soul Assassin's here. Hi, Soul Assassins. Hi, Library Holocron Fox. You're punished. What does that mean? See, this is why. I'm sorry. Hi, King of Ruckus. Oh, it's so good to see you. Okay, now I'm back with the chat. This is, oh my gosh, did I just flash you guys? Sorry, my shirt. Okay, anyway, I'm back with the chat. Okay. Oh, wow. Generation Productions actually knows this one. Scudagira colipratra. I thought that said Cleopatra for a second. I got excited because I love Egypt stuff. Okay, also known as the house centipede, is a species of centipede that's typically yellowish gray, has up to 15 pairs of long legs, originating in the Mediterranean region. That surprises me. I would think the Mediterranean wouldn't be humid enough for the house centipede because we have them here in California. And oh no, we don't have them here in California. We have a different we have a cuter centipede in California. The centipedes in California are cuter, and I've only found 1 or 2, but they're kind of cute, so they don't bother me as much. Still don't love living with them, but way cuter than house centipedes. Camel spider. Oh yeah, don't remind me, K. Roberts. Okay, I'm back with the chat. It's good to see all you who've joined. All right, so what do you guys want to talk about? I wrote down a few things we could talk about. 1917, we talked about that already, and I could talk about it more. Existential things, because you know I would love to talk about existential things. Also, the horror movie, Talk to Me. Has anyone seen that? Let me know your thoughts. And then just if anyone has any general questions about life, or if you need advice, or if you have any questions, I'll answer off the bat. I have not seen any of the new Marvel movies. I have not seen any of the new Star Wars movies. Most of the stuff I consume these days are like how to improve my own freaking life and how to be a better person. Oh my gosh, wait, what? Hang on. This live stream is different. Oh, cool. That's so cool. So you can you auto star super chats. Okay, cool. So it stars that for me. That's really good to know so I don't miss any. Okay. Rafterman, watch Talk to Me. If you like A24, I think it was A24. I really enjoyed it. And I know horror is very subjective. I recently watched Ghost Watch, which is a vintage 90s British. And I was so impressed with that level of production. I had a lot of fun with that one. I thought that was really cool. It was made almost like I think a lot of the British public was actually really outraged at the time because a lot of them thought it was real and it scared a lot of the children. Ghost Watch is a fun one, especially if you're into production and blocking and just seeing the actors. And I think even some of the British news press took on some of the roles, so people were even more convinced that it was real. So it was just a really fun production that got people involved, and it just felt very there was like a wholesomeness about it, even though it was technically in the horror genre. It just had something a little bit special. And we watched that because what was that other one? There was I think a Canadian production that came out that was like a talk show format, and it was supposed to feel kind of realistic. Uh, but it definitely broke the fourth wall a few times unintentionally, I think. So, okay, let's see. I don't wanna lose the chat again. Okay. Oh, Jester Feathers. I said EMP because hopefully that can take out the internet through though a solar flare would be better. Hey, The Grove. Uh, K. Roberts, well said. Rafterman variety, yeah, kind of like Blair Witch Project, Ghost Watch. It's on Shudder right now, and I have this weird situation with Shudder that I am not complaining about, where I paid for a membership years ago, and then I was kind of like, maybe 2 years ago, I was kind of just not loving they weren't putting a lot of new stuff on there, and I wasn't really watching it as much, so I was like, "Why am I gonna pay for this thing if they're not even really putting anything on anymore, and the stuff that I am watching, I'm not really loving?" So I called them. I was like, "Hey, like I loved your service. I love horror, but I'm kind of not loving the recent things available to me, so I'd like to cancel my service." And they said, "Okay, we're sorry to see you go." And then through some glitch, I have Shutter. I'm not paying for it anymore. I just get Shutter like for free. I don't want to jinx it. I'm going to knock on wood. Because I love Shutter now, and I think they're putting better titles on, and they're actually branching out of just the horror genre too. They're doing more like thriller and some other things that are just kind of like a darker vibe to it. So I'm very happy about that. But yeah, I love the original Blair Witch Project. I'm a sucker for that too. Gonk asks, Kelly, were there any movies that helped you through your grief when it all started? There were movies that helped that I didn't expect to help. Top Gun Maverick helped me big time. That's cool. I can't say whether there are any films that I watched. I think I always recommend 6 Feet Under to people as a series because not only does it kind of confront death, it also confronts the relationships that we hold in life. And it has a representation of a lot of different types of relationships in that show. And really, when you think about grief is the effect that we feel because of the relationship we had with the person that we lose. So we're not just grieving the loss of the person, we're grieving the loss of the relationship. So what I thought was so brilliant and beautiful about 6 Feet Under is it concentrated, yes, on death and the rituals around death from different cultures, because the premise is you have the Fisher family that own a funeral home. So they have all different types of families that come there with different religious backgrounds, spiritual backgrounds, who each and even within the same spiritual or religious background, you'll have people that deal with death completely differently. But what they really delve into are the relationships people have with each other and the relationships people have with themselves. So for me, I try to rewatch that show like once every 2 or 3 years just because it's almost like a re-up on my human empathy and like understanding of myself. That show helped me a lot. I rewatched that after my mom died, and I actually watched it with my mom while she was alive. So that was pretty powerful. I think The Tree of Life by Terrence Malick is a beautiful film. It's definitely on the artsy side, and I think some people might think it's pretentious, but I think that's just Terrence Malick's style. It's beautiful, it's ambient, and it's a really unique film in that it explores the narrative structure is very different in that it explores the life of a small family in Texas, and it will show like scenes of the sons when they're babies, and then it'll show scenes of them as adults, and it'll kind of slip through time, and then all of a sudden you're back with the dinosaurs, and then all of a sudden you're going back to the Big Bang. The music is gorgeous. The film itself is gorgeous. The cinematography is unbelievable. But it's not for everybody. It's definitely not a Hollywood movie by any stretch. It's beautiful, but it's more of like an exploration, and I don't know, like, what does this all mean? It's a very existential film. And then a ghost story with Ben Affleck. No, Casey Affleck. That one's really beautiful too. It's very transient. It's kind of similar to Terrence Malick, his style. That one was really good. And then also I just think watching any films that you enjoyed with your loved ones, like one of my mom's favorite movies was Muriel's Wedding, and I watched that after she died, and that was very cathartic because I began to see, and that's another thing that happens when you lose someone you love, I think, at least for me. You begin to see them more as the person that they were instead of just the relationship you had to them. So I became really fascinated with like, who was my mom as a person, as a child, as a little girl, as a young woman, as a worker, as a colleague. Like I had so many people in her life reach out to me and tell me their version of her, because my mom, a lot of people loved her. And it was really beautiful to hear people's experiences with her that I hadn't personally experienced because I was just her daughter. I just saw her through one small lens. So yeah. I'm trying to think if there are any other films or television that I would recommend for grief, but I think those would be my top 3. 6 Feet Under. I think most people could enjoy 6 Feet Under, assuming you get past like the first. It's one of those shows where it starts off kind of different than it ends up. So if you can get through like the first 5 episodes, because it does feel there's some dated elements to it in terms of like the early 2000s where everything felt kind of like there was like a bit of raunchiness to it, but not in a funny way, kind of in a weird, dramatic way. It was HBO, so there's that. But it becomes it. I think it's the gestalt is that it's the sum. The whole is greater than the sum of its parts with 6 Feet Under, and so I would highly recommend that. I think any of you guys could watch that and enjoy it, assuming you're able to get past the first 6 episodes. And if you still don't like it, maybe it's not for you. And I know that sounds like a lot of time to commit to a show, but it's 6 seasons long, and I think I grow as a person every time I watch that show. And it's entertaining. There's a lot of very funny moments. Once you get to know the characters, it has a very dark sense of humor. And then, yeah, The Tree of Life is not for everybody. I don't know how many people I can recommend that to. Some of the more artsy people here, I think, would appreciate it. And same with A Ghost Story. A Ghost Story is like kind of devastating, but in a beautiful way. So I don't want to go any further. Okay, now I'm behind on the chat again, guys. I'm so sorry. Okay, Eric K. Hi, Eric K. Thank you so much for the super chat, for your kissy face. It's so nice to see you. Aw, great to see you. Oh, Caffeinated Wolf, you tend to stick to supernatural horror, Conjuring, Possession, Insidious. Then you would really like Talk to Me. I don't want to give any spoilers, but I think you would appreciate it. Okay, let me see. I don't want to be too far behind. Hi, Captain James T. Skywalker. Great to see you. Holocron Fox says it's probably a reason we've not yet conquered the galaxy. Oh, Eric K. Kelly, I had strangers coming up to me for 5 years after my mom died, telling me all she did for them. That's beautiful. You guys get to see Nova on her wheel. This is new. That was Nova's 10th birthday present I got for her. She's in her wheel. She will run on that sometimes. I don't know if she'll do it now, but that's beautiful, Eric K. Your mother must have been a very special person. Jester Feather says Tree of Life was a bit far out for me, and I like weird. I'm trying not to swear as much anymore. Weird S-H-I-T. Yes, Holocron Live. Yeah, no, we got a Stargate. Doesn't it look like a portal? That's what I've been saying. It looks like a portal to another dimension. Yep, that's Nova's little portal. She's very happy there. Oh, Eric K got a new kitten. That's amazing. Congratulations. Kittens are so cute and so fun. And I love Nova so much, and I wouldn't trade her for the world. She's 10 years old, but I got her when she was a kitten, and she is the most like amazing being I could possibly ever ask for. And there she is walking in her wheel. Everyone thinks it was a Stargate. Gong says she looks like she's in the Acolyte logo. Yes, Rafterman, well said. Tree of Life's a movie you need to immerse yourself in. It's not an easy watch per se. Yeah, it's definitely... Oh my gosh. Good girl. Yes. Good girl, Nova. I want to praise her when she does it because I'm so proud of her for walking in it, because I want her to get good. She already gets good exercise because she just runs by herself and plays by herself all the time. But I want to keep praising her. But every time I say good girl, she turns and stares at me. Yeah, Tree of Life is definitely, it's an endeavor. I saw it in theaters. Oh, that's my timer. Okay, guys, I said I was going to stream for an hour. I'm going to go a little bit longer. I haven't had dinner yet, so I can't stay that long. I'm holding myself to it because I know usually I say I'm going to stream for like an hour and then I stream for 3. I can't do that because then I'll get tired and then I won't eat dinner and then I'll be tired the next day. So I need to be very particular with my energy. But yeah, I was lucky that I saw Tree of Life in theaters, and it was just after I had finished university and I had been studying film. So I was ready for it. I was prepared. I was appreciating all of the different choices that it made. But yeah, it's not always for everybody. Yeah. Yeah, you hear the wheel whirring. Oh, Rafterman, good exercise. My cats are getting fat, so it'd be a good thing for them. Yeah, the way I got Nova to do it was, she's so good. She's so intuitive. Like, she'll figure out how to do things on her own. And I would just give her a treat every time she walked on it. Or I would encourage her to walk a little bit and give her a treat. Let me tell you about this wheel, though. This took over 3 hours to set up because it came in like a bajillion pieces. There was pieces of wood everywhere. There were nails and screws everywhere. The manual was all visual. It was like A, B, C, G. There was no instructions. It was just, I still to this day don't know how that thing is in one piece. I'm amazed. Eric K. He's either play or cuddle up and sleep. The puppy's trying hard to play. Kitten runs up and attacks his tail. Yeah, kittens when they're really young. Same with puppies too. They want to play, and then they sleep. And I swear they do grow while they're sleeping. That's like regenerative sleep for them. So they will have like the deepest sleeps. There she goes. So cute. Oh, Stunt Brad. Hi, Sherry. It's so good to see you. Nice seeing you. I hope you're doing well. Okay, guys, any more questions? I'm going to try to wrap this up reasonably quickly because so I will share this with you. Those of you who are left here, I get so much anxiety about streaming. Because I really don't stream much anymore, and it's gotten very like overwhelming for me to think about. My time has become really limited in what I'm doing, so I don't always have time to dedicate to this, and I want to. And I think about streaming all the time because I miss connecting with you guys. But the way my life is set up right now, my schedule is just not always plausible because sometimes by the time I get home, I'm just tired and I just want to relax and just drink some water and have some food and just go to sleep. But this has been really nice. It's one of those special days where I had a little extra time and extra energy. So it feels really good. So yeah, that's one reason, is just the anxiety behind doing it, and also just the time and energy that it takes for me. I have recorded and made a new video that will be coming out hopefully soon. It's already released for my Ko-fi supporters. Thank you so much to my Ko-fi supporters. So they have it. It's been out for like a couple weeks. So I'm just waiting till I have time to like sit, because I want to premiere it. So I like sitting and being able to talk in the chat with people as it premieres. So hopefully I'll be getting that out relatively soon. And ironically enough, it's about the topic of brevity and how to be more concise in our speaking, which is something that I am working on, and I've had a lot of great benefits. Oh, that's the book I read, Krista Joe, was the Smart Brevity book. it's a book called Smart Brevity, and I cover it in the that's so funny. I cover it in the video that I'm will eventually be releasing. So that was really interesting. Do I recommend the book 100%? Not necessarily, because ironically, I actually think it was way longer than it needed to be for a book about brevity. So I summed it up for all of us in, I think the video is under 40 minutes, and the book itself I think is a 3-hour audiobook, and it took me a few weeks to read it because I was taking my sweet time taking notes. So that was a good book. It was interesting. I do think people talk too much, as I talk too much. Something nowhere. Oh yeah, thank you for your enthusiasm. It's great to see you too, the dude 1764. And here goes Nova. Gonk says, okay, Kelly, it's been a long time. So to sum up, how has life been going the last few years? 1 being bad, 10 being freaking awesome. How have you been doing? You know, if someone had told me 10 years ago that I was going to lose my mom at the beginning of the pandemic to cancer unexpectedly, and I was never going to be able to see her again after the last time I saw her, which was the Christmas before she died, I would have thought that I would need to be institutionalized because my mom and I were incredibly close. She was my best friend. That being said, once I realized I needed to get through it and decided I need to get through this, and I took the time and the energy to learn who I was without my mom and also who I was because of my mom, and to kind of fill in the gaps between those things. I would say that my life is better now, not because my mom's gone, but because of the work that I've had to do after losing my mom. So if any of you out there have a person in your life that you're scared of losing and you feel like your life will end, I will promise you now that if you can even begin to comprehend what it is that that relationship does for you and start working on giving that to yourself, you will be okay. It's going to be hard. Like death and grief is like the hardest thing I've ever been through, but you have to be willing to show up for yourself. I think that's the biggest thing I've learned is like, how do I show up for myself? How do I work on myself? How do I change the things that always bothered me about myself because I need to now because my mom wasn't there to unconditionally love me. And I realized when my mom died that she was the only person I felt truly unconditionally loved by other than my grandparents. And now I feel that from my dad, but I'm going to be honest, I didn't always feel unconditionally loved from my dad. And that's another relationship I had to repair after my mom died. So that's a lot of stuff. But I'm getting through it, and I'm really proud of myself, and it's been really hard, but it's been the most rewarding work that I've ever done. And I was someone that always prided myself on being a very self-aware, like introspective person. But there's only so much good being introspective and self-aware was doing me if I wasn't taking action on the things I actually wanted to change or the life I wanted to live. So, long story short, I would say I'm like at like a 6. But before I felt like I was at 5, and I'm at 6 working towards a 7, and some of my days are 10s and some of my days are 8s. But I actually haven't really had a low day in a long time. So I'm really happy about that and learning to regulate my own emotions. Because I think looking back, if I'm honest, I think I had kind of an emotionally codependent relationship with my mom where I outsourced a lot of my own feelings and emotions to her. And I had to learn how to do that from within, or I was just going to latch on to another. I remember when my mom died, I would look at like other women and be like, I want that to be my mom. I need a mom. Like I remember thinking that, and I don't feel that anymore. I appreciate I love seeing like older women that remind me of my mom, but I don't have that like longing anymore. And that's something because I'm able to give that to myself in a new way now. So I know you didn't ask for that tangent, but it's been very important to me, and it's been a huge life lesson. And if anyone ever has questions about grief, loss, death, any kind of existential questions, I will always, that's like my wheelhouse now because I've been working on this for years, and it is a long journey, but it is a really meaningful one, and it's helped me a lot in all the other aspects of my life. I think yeah, it's just been very helpful. Rafterman said kittens grow up too fast. I agree. I'm so glad. Yeah, good job, Nova. I'm so proud of you. She went for a run. King of Ruckus. Michael C. Hall's a very good actor. He was also good in Dexter. No, you don't talk too much, Kelly. Thank you, King of Ruckus. Michael C. Hall. So I would watch Dexter once in a while. And I remember thinking, like, I think it was just because he was playing a sociopath or a psychopath. I think he thought he needed to be intentionally kind of flat. You really see his acting chops in 6 Feet Under. I mean, I was so impressed in his ability. You can definitely see, I think he has theater training, and you can see it so well in 6 Feet Under. He explores a lot of range in that role, and I was really impressed with it. A lot of emotional range. The whole cast is really, really excellent. Rachel Griffiths, who's an Australian actress, I believe, I was so impressed with her. So many of the actors are phenomenal in that show. And the cast, I just think the cast keeps getting better as they add more people too. Oh, gonk, I didn't know that. I lost my mother during the pandemic too. The protocols held back care, and she passed away over 2 months, so I can 100% relate to how you were feeling. I am so sorry I didn't realize that happened for you. That's horrendous. I'm so sorry. Ugh. Yeah, that was a hard time to lose people because I was living in California. My mom was living in New York, and there was no feasible for me to get way to get to her in time to see her, and same thing happened with my mochita. And even my family dog, they all died on the opposite coast and within like a few months of each other, kind of like back to back. So that was a really hard year for me. And I know it was a hard year for everyone. And sometimes when people talk about how hard the pandemic was, unless they've been through loss, I sometimes I'm like, I don't even remember it being that hard pandemic. I didn't even care about the, stay home order. I didn't even care because I was just like, I'm losing everyone I love. Like, I felt like I was losing everyone I loved, so that was really hard, and none of them were, from COVID. My mother had cancer. My mochita, honestly, I feel like she died of a broken heart, from losing her daughter, but I also think, she just her heart failed, and then my Rottweiler she was older, so it was her time, sadly, but yeah. Oh my gosh. Terrible time to lose people because you couldn't even get to be with them in a lot of cases, so that was very sad. Oh, Gonk, thank you. You seem so much stronger, Kelly. Proud of you. Thank you. I feel stronger. I really do. I really do. Yeah. Holocron, well said. After you've been through the hard stuff, the other stuff suddenly is a lot easier. Kay Roberts, lives with connection end so that others may reflect and endure. Rafterman, it's one of the hardest parts of growing up. Agree. Yes, holocron, right. What's knowledge without turning into wisdom and action? Exactly. I've met so many smart people that are just not taking action on how intelligent they are, and they get stuck in loops. And honestly, I have to say I was one of those people for a long time. I think I thought I was smart, but I wasn't taking action on the things I actually needed to, which kind of made me dumb. Being fair. uh, Aw, Stunt Brat says, "I wish you were my daughter, moi." Aw, Sherry, you're so sweet. You're my mother in another in a parallel universe. I feel it. I appreciate you so much. Aw, Gonk. Thank you so much for the super chat. Thank you for still turning frowns upside down. That's so sweet. If I can make anyone smile, that makes me very happy. That really does make me very happy. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Adis asks, "Did I ever read The Myth of Sisyphus by Camus?" No, I don't think so. Maybe like an excerpt from it when I was younger. Um, do you recommend it? Can you give us a broad strokes version of it in a comment? I'm intrigued. Oh, it's been so nice chatting with you guys. Thank you for actually made it to the end of the chat, and I'm here and I'm all caught up, and I'm very happy because I was 20 minutes behind before, and I hate being behind. Holocron. All right, Kelly, since you're stronger now, next time you think about streaming, don't dwell on the hesitation, just fire up the stream. It's a marvel. I seem to catch most of them if late a bit. Oh, thank you. I'm glad you've caught them, and thank you so much for catching this one. It's really nice. It's been really good catching up with you guys. I was not expecting as many people to be here because I just obviously did it very last minute. And I will say I probably won't be able to give notice when I stream again. I'll probably just pop and there I'll be, and hopefully there some of you guys will be. But it's really nice doing this. I missed it a lot, and I was nervous to do it. I have a hard time putting myself out there, and sometimes I watch YouTubers and I just marvel at how natural they are, and also how like they just seem so good at YouTube. And I still feel like, I mean, to be fair, I've never had a regular schedule with YouTube. But I'm kind of glad that I haven't, because I still feel like I'm able to be myself. And that's really important to me, is just this being like an authentic extension of who I am. I don't know. I like YouTube being this way. I think for a while I thought I needed to make video essays, like serious video essays, and have like serious philosophical theory and stuff. And now I realize, no, I just want this to be an extension of who I am and what I'm learning and what's fun and what's interesting. So I'm glad we got to talk about 1917 a little bit. I hope I inspired some of you to watch it. And again, it's probably one of the best technical films I've ever seen. I can't get over the filmmaking quality of it. And I'm so glad that it's not the typical Hollywood movie. And then Talk to Me if you're looking for a good horror film and you haven't seen it yet. Sorry, I'm looking around my space hoping that there are no spiders, because I was talking about it before. So I'm just hoping there are no spiders that need to fall on me. Talk to Me is a really good horror. I was really happy with that one because it was unique. It was different. It is dark. I will give it that. It's dark, but it's also impressive. I thought the execution was really impressive and the effects were pretty cool. And it was just a cool thing for first-time filmmakers to make something like that. It was cool. Oh my gosh. Wait, Eric. I didn't know that. I didn't know about this Clobby. Forgive me. I don't know who Clobby is. I'm so sorry though. Clobby died yesterday. He had a heart attack the day before and hit his head when he fell. No. I'm so sorry. Who's Clobby? I don't know that I know who Clobby was. That's so I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Well, wow. Whew. Clobberin' Times. Wait, Clobberin' Times. Wait. Is he a YouTuber? I know I know that name. Oh no. Oh no. I'm so sorry. Oh my gosh. Oh no. Oh my god. Oh, that's so sad. Oh my god, that's awful. Oh. Oh my god. I'm so sorry. That's awful. I was not aware. I haven't been following him, honestly. I didn't know that. That's awful. Oh my gosh. That's terrible. Well, let's hold him in our hearts and our prayers and our memories and our that's terrible. Ugh. And Storian. I don't think I knew who Comic Storian was. Died as well. Oh, that's awful. Well, assuming at least some of you were close with them, I'm so sorry. I'm heartbroken. That's heartbreaking. That's so sad. And my heart goes out to their loved ones, their families, their loved ones, their friends, you guys, anyone that's mourning their loss. That's awful. hate hearing about that. That's so sad. Okay. Addis answered the question from before about Camus. He uses the Greek myth to argue the point that despite the futility or meaningless there is in life, you should still go and try to live through it. I really like that. Thank you, Addis. Camus, I'm assuming that's Camus the philosopher. I'll write that down. I actually have a quote that my dad sent me. I framed it. That my dad, he hand wrote this to me in a note. And it's a Carl Jung quote. He wrote, "As far as we can discern, the sole purpose of human existence is to kindle a light of meaning in the darkness of mere being." Carl Jung. And I love Carl Jung. I think so many of his quotes are gems because he was a gem and he explored the human mind and human existence really deeply. So any Carl Jung quote, I am always happy to read and hear. And that reminds me of the Camus exploration of Sisyphus. That's really interesting. I'll have to look into that. Thank you. Oh my gosh. I guess comic Storian died in a car accident. That's awful. Oh, that's so awful. No, it's okay, Eric K. Thank you so much for your super chat. You're not bringing down the stream. These are real things. Like this is life. These things happen. It's horrible, and they deserve much more than a moment of our time to honor them. And that's so sad. And I know I appreciate you bringing attention to it because it's a reminder for all of us that life is fragile, life is precious. We can lose loved ones at any time. We can lose ourselves at any time, and it is an important reminder. So you don't feel bad. You didn't bring the stream down. If there's anyone that is, I get it. If anyone ever brings up death to me, I'm not someone that shies away from it because I've seen it for my whole life. I've heard about it. I've lost people I love. I've seen other people lose the people they love. I know what it does to people. So thank you for sharing. Wow, biggest comic channel on YouTube. Oh, that's so sad. He died in a car crash. Ugh. Oh. Wow. Oh, he's only 40. That's so sad. Yeah, something Nora Man said it really nicely. My heart goes out to Cloudburn Times and comic historians, to their friends, family, and everyone who knew them best. Wow. Hi, Maka P. Aw, it's good to see you. Great to see you in the chat. I hope you're doing well. Kay Roberts writes, "To strive, to seek, to find, and never yield," Tennyson. Ooh, Gonk says, "I studied Carl Jung for my design study years ago and got into his theories about the animus, etc. It was so cool." Yeah, I love Carl Jung. Anything Carl Jung, I love. I think he brought out so many, he brought the shadow to light quite literally and figuratively about humanity and what it is to be human. Gonk says, "It's sad losing YouTube people. We connect with them, but it's like we don't know them at the same time." Yeah, I feel that. A few years ago, I found out it's JJ. JJ passed away, and it really like rattled me. I never talked about it on here, but he actually sent me my lightsaber, my first Luke Skywalker lightsaber, and he was such a sweet, caring person. The fact that he like wanted to say, he sent me a lightsaber. He actually sent it to Mary May because I didn't have a PO box. I still don't have a PO box, but he wanted to send me my light. It was the first ever real like nice lightsaber, and he was so thoughtful. He sent me his own green Luke Skywalker lightsaber. He sent it to Mary Mayhem, and then she sent it to me. It was just the sweetest thing. And then I found out a couple years ago that he passed away, and I didn't know him closely, but I had enough interactions with him to be moved by who he was as a person and to appreciate him. And we don't always have to know someone personally to to know a part of them that means enough for us to mourn when they die. And I was just so sad when I found that out. It just really rattled me, and I still think about him. Even though I didn't really know him, of course. We never met in person, but he did such an act of kindness and generosity, and like I know for sure, and I know for sure that I would be heartbroken to find out. Like I feel like this channel still, I feel like I know so many of you, not know personally necessarily, but I feel like I know so many of you, and it goes both ways. Uh Yeah. So even if it wasn't someone I watch, it would still be if it was, someone I see comment. I feel like I get to know your personalities and your comments, the things you're interested in, the things you like, the things that make you laugh, the things that make me laugh. Like, these are real human interactions. I think we can forget sometimes and think, "Oh, it's the internet. Nothing's real," but there is real human connection behind it. So it is real, especially as I think relationships get more tenuous over time, personal relationships, and people are feeling more disillusioned with the way the world's going. Sometimes we can build really authentic, meaningful connections on the internet because we're not being forced to be around people we don't agree with. We can find people we do agree with on certain things, or at least people that we respect their opinions or their beliefs, and we can learn from them. And um, I feel like I find more like-minded people here on YouTube than I do in person. I mean, yeah, I find great people in person too. They're wonderful people, but especially as an introvert, I'm very careful with like who I connect with and how I use my energy. So, yeah, anyway, it's all real. It's all real stuff. Hug the people you love, says Kong. Hmm. Oh, Optic Racer. Oh yeah, JJ was a very cool cat. I shared some lives with him. A very sweet and caring guy, Kelly. Some YouTubers even made special live tributes about him. Yeah, I watched some of those. He was very special. Holocron. Consciousness is a non-local phenomenon. After all, we are all connected and you can feel others even over the internet if we know ourselves well enough to filter out the interference. I love that. That's really cool. I like that a lot. That's beautiful. I do think there's absolutely something to universal consciousness because I've just had too many coincidences with things keeping coming up like into my field and then in another person's field that seem completely disconnected, and then all of a sudden you'll be talking about the same thing. And it's interesting how that happens. It's like a consciousness algorithm that keeps coming up. Oh, Leon K says, God bless you. I bought my brother an Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon Hasbro 1999 lightsabers to see the 25th anniversary showing of The Phantom Menace. It was great. Popcorn, yellow striped smile. That's cute. Yeah, Holocron. I've had it confirmed way too many times to ignore it. I love that. That's awesome. Ah, so cool. Okay, Roberts. Oh, that's between you and Gen X. Okay, guys, I'm gonna wrap this up pretty quick, pretty soon. So, any more questions? Any more quotes? Any more jokes? Any interesting things that I should know about? Okay, okay, you are way over time. Much love. Go eat. Oh, thank you, Eric. Thank you for the super chat and the $5. I really appreciate that. Oh. DJ Holiday wrote, go get some food and rest. It's gonna be 1 hour, 30 minutes since you've been live streaming. I really appreciate you guys caring about me. Thank you. That's really sweet. That's really cute. Okay. No, that's so, you know what, guys? That means a lot to me because it always made me feel kind of guilty to see people being like, no, stay. And I would want to stay because I do love this, but I do know myself well enough to know that if I stay too long, I'll get tired and then I won't eat my dinner and then I'll be more tired tomorrow. And Gen X says just one more hour, please. Aw, thank you guys. I really, really appreciate seeing you. And Optic Racer, I saw your comments about the PO box and email. I'm not going to do those just because I am overwhelmed with my schedule as it is. I only use my email for work related things. I I have enough to keep up with, so I'm not going to do like a YouTube email or anything. And PO box, I looked into PO boxes years ago. I can't fathom spending extra money right now to have stuff. And also, I'm a minimalist. I don't know if you guys can tell. These are all Nova's toys. I'll do an apartment tour one day. I have 700 square feet, including my balcony, which is small. And I'm a minimalist. I barely have anything. And that's another thing I learned through grief and loss was the more things I held on to, the more things I held on to up here. So I've gotten very good at being very careful with the things I have, like this framed young quote that my dad sent me, or that green Buddha my mom got me. I have some very special things that are from the people I love in my life that I really cherish, but I don't need any more stuff. I don't. I'm very careful with what I choose to put in my space or what I choose to invest in. I'm very particular, but I really appreciate that you want to send me things in a PO box. That's very sweet. I really appreciate that that notion. That's really adorable. I love that, actually. So thank you for caring. You guys are awesome. Aww. I really appreciate all of you encouraging me to go eat. I am. I'm so excited. Aw. Holocron, we know you well enough to know you'd be tempted, so we kick you out. King of Ruckus. No question. Wait, where'd it go? Why can't I see it? No questions, just digi hugs for you and Nova. Take care, buddy, and enjoy dinner. No peanuts and no kombucha. That's so true. Yeah, that's how I used to hold myself over by eating lots and lots of peanuts and drinking kombucha. But you know what, guys? This is a life hack. This is my favorite thing that I've discovered recently. It's hydrating with electrolyte powder. Oh my gosh, I am the most hydrated I've ever been. I drink only water now. If you guys used to see me, I used to drink a lot of Zevia, which is like a healthy soda made with stevia leaf instead of sugar, or like aspartame or whatever the other stuff is. I just drink water and lemon electrolyte powder now, and I am so hydrated. It's so good. But no, I'm gonna eat a real dinner tonight. I think I'm gonna have some chicken and some tempeh, chicken and tempeh. Yeah, and edamame. Makapi, oh, I'm sorry I didn't get here earlier. I'll have to watch the whole stream later. Well, it's great to have you here. Better late than never, Makapi. Always good seeing you. And Leon K, thank you so much for the super chat. A $20 super chat from Leon K. Thank you, but you didn't say anything. Oh, well, I really appreciate you sending a super chat. Thank you so much, Leon. That's so sweet. Oh my gosh, you guys, this is crazy. So I haven't streamed since I don't remember the last time I streamed, actually, but for almost a year, YouTube wouldn't send me a payout because I only had $50 in there. And I think you need to have you must need to have like $100 in YouTube. And so I had like $50 in my YouTube AdSense account for I think over a year. I'm like, and I can finally get a payout now, which is so nice. That really helps. So thank you to everyone who sent a super chat tonight. That means I finally, I think a year later, get to do my YouTube payout. It's actually very helpful. So thank you all so much. That's so sweet. You've all contributed to my ability to get some YouTube money for the first time in a long time. So I appreciate that. That's really sweet. But more important than anything is connecting with you guys. This feels so good. Love you too, Sherry. God bless and hugs. You're so sweet. Aww. Holocron Library Fox. Oh my gosh, you have a cat. You only own what she allows you to keep. That is so true. Nova's pretty good. She's torn apart my orange couch. On one side, on the side that I sit on the most, because she just loves to like scratch and make eye contact with me while she stretches. Yeah. And she does get the occasional hairball, so the carpet is sadly not in as good condition as it used to be, despite all my scrubbing. Optic Racer. Oh yeah, minimalism is very important nowadays. Besides, I've seen your Star Wars collection. So many cool items. Yeah, my Star Wars collection is all in Rhode Island with my dad in my parents' attic. I haven't seen it in years. Actually, do I have anything here other than my lightsaber? I have a little lightsaber that Gary N actually got me. It's a really cool. It's like a little Luke Skywalker hilt replica. I have that. I don't have any of my other stuff here though. I that's one thing that I really need to go through is all my Star Wars stuff. And but I always thought, even as a kid, I was like, these are gonna go to my children one day because I do love my Star Wars collection. I'll probably get rid of some of it. Not get rid of it. I'll probably sell some of it to be strategic about it because I want to be strategic about it. I want to make sure it's going to the right people that really are going to care about it. I'm not just going to give it away to Goodwill or anything. We need to make sure it goes to the right people that want it. Because I have some good stuff. I have Han Solo's blaster from the 70s. I have a chicken walker from the original release of Return of the Jedi. I have a Millennium Falcon from the 70s and a TIE fighter from the 70s. So I'm very proud of that collection. Look around library box. All right, we have to stop writing anything, Kelly. We'll keep reading. It's true. I'm so bad at I'm so bad. I'm bad at saying goodbye. Oh my gosh, I know. Oh, Eric K, thank you so much for dropping my Ko-fi. That's really sweet. Oh, Optic Racer. It's been a long time, amiga. Stream more. We need and appreciate you. You're amazing. Thank you so much. Gonk, I was just talking about this. So Gonk says, I bought so much Star Wars stuff since 2014. I feel so gross having it now after Star Wars has turned out okay. Kelly, go eat. Oh my God. Yeah. So when the Force Awakens came out, I had a rebirth of my love of Star Wars because I actually liked The Force Awakens when it came out because I didn't see, I know, don't judge me. I didn't see through all the red flags of The Force Awakens and I actually really enjoyed it. So I went on a total reiteration of a Star Wars kick and I went out and bought all new stuff. Although I already had a pretty sizable Star Wars collection, I just went out and bought a bunch of stuff. But that's probably the stuff that I'll probably end up selling. I've already sold some of it actually. Like my Star Wars beach towel with Princess Leia on it on Tatooine. I was like, I'm never using this. It's sun bleached. Like, let me see if I can get this to someone that's actually going to appreciate it more than I do. Because I have so many towels. Like, I'm not going to use that one. I don't need more towels. Gen X, you enjoyed it? Yeah. The Force Awakens, I did enjoy it. I did. I think if I watched it now, I'd see through it because hindsight's 2020, of course. But at the time, I didn't see through. I was hopeful that because J.J. Abrams was such a Star Wars fan, I was very hopeful that he would do it justice. And I think I was just a little bit rose-colored glasses with it. Rose Tico colored glasses. But I did not like what was the one that came out? The one that we all hated. Return of What was the first bad one? Oh my God, with Rose Tico in it. What was that? I can't even remember. This is a good thing. I'm convinced this is a good thing that I can't remember because I was such a defining pivot in my life where I had to grow. And this is, you know what, this is a half-baked idea, but I think I had to mature as a person from losing Star Wars the way I loved it. And I had to detach from this media property that I was so attached to. And like I always say, I will always love the original trilogy. It will always have a place in my heart, but I've matured as a person in letting go of my expectations for something that I can't control. And I'm kind of glad it happened. Is that crazy to say? So I feel like I've had to grow as a person. So Nova's doing weird things back there. I hear her. I don't know what she's doing. She's making noises I don't typically hear, so I have to go check on her and I have to eat. Okay, guys. You guys are so sweet telling me to go eat. Thank you. Oh, Gonk, that's so cool. I'm a 501st member. I just have my stormtrooper armor in the corner of my room in a box. I can't bring myself to wear it again. Oh no, don't say that. You should. There might be a day if it's important to you, but I'm sure all the like conventions are like tainted now because it's all new Star Wars fans that just don't get Star Wars the way we did, but we all have to let go. We all have to let go of things eventually. All right. One's in the chat if you wanna see Kelly go eat dinner. Thank you, King of Rockets. Last Jedi. Yeah, Last Jedi. That's what it was. Something Jedi, I'm sure. Soul Assassin. Yeah. Oh, this was great. Thank you guys. Okay, I'm really gonna go now. Thank you for being here for my first live stream in a long time, my semi-annual live stream. This was really fun. I'm really glad I did it. I was not gonna do it, and then I just like, I'm just gonna do it. So I'm really glad I did. Be on the lookout for that brevity video coming sometime soon. I don't know when. I'm still not a professional YouTuber, so I don't have a schedule and I don't know when I'm gonna post it, but it's fully edited, it's fully available. I want to make sure that I have the time and energy to sit with it while it premieres because it's almost 40 minutes long. So I want to be able to talk with you guys in the chat while it premieres because I always like doing that. And then hopefully I'll be recording other videos soon. Maybe I'll talk about 1917 in a video or something. I don't know. Leave a comment on this video letting me know what you think. Do you want me to do a review of 1917? Because clearly I love that. Do you want me to do a review of something else? Muriel's Wedding? One of my favorite movies. Australian, my mom's favorite movie, one of hers. Okay, anyway, by the way, please keep John Williams, the amazing, incredible, mind-blowingly beautiful human being and composer in your hearts and in your prayers. If you are spiritual or religious, please, Nova, no. She's getting rambunctious. I believe he's 92 years old, and he's just canceled his concert for a month out due to health reasons. So we love John Williams. He's incredible. I was lucky enough to see him in concert. It was the best concert I've ever been to in my life. He was amazing. He's an amazing person. He's made some of the most beautiful music we've ever heard in film. Incredibly talented, skilled, beautiful person, wonderful human being. So yeah, best for John Williams. Let's hope for the best for John Williams, and we have to be realistic. He's 92. So we'll keep him in our hearts. Okay, guys. And if not, maybe he'll stick around for the cure for death and he'll be the first immortal person ever. And I would so vote for John Williams to be the first immortal person ever to never die against his will. I'm sure he probably won. He's probably like, guys, it's been long enough. I've done enough. I think John Williams is a very realistic, sweet, and humble human being. So knowing him, he probably does not want us to elect for him to live an endless life, because that actually sounds like torture as we move into 2020, further into 2024. So let's not wish that upon him, actually. Anyway, Dick Van Dyke is 98 and still going. That's impressive, Soul Assassin. Dick Van Dyke, gotta hand it to him too. I love Dick Van Dyke. Oh my gosh. I recently rewatched Mary Poppins, and was that Dick Van Dyke? I think it was. He was so cute in that. Okay, guys, now I'm really gonna go. But like, if John Williams wants to live forever, let's pump up the energy to get him there, right? If he wants it, let's manifest that. Let's manifest John Williams living forever. But if not, we'll let him go peacefully with love. We love you, John Williams. Okay, food. Okay, time to go, guys. All right, I'm going to go. Thank you for everyone. I missed you guys. It was so good to see you. Let me know in the comments what I should talk about. Ask me if I have any advice to give, because you know what? I've been going through so much in this world, and I've learned so many different things in the last few years. I think I have some good advice if anyone wants it. But I've also learned, don't give unsolicited advice, because that doesn't feel good either. I don't want to give unsolicited advice. I don't like doing that. I only like giving advice when people ask for it. So if you have anything you want advice on, let me know. Okay, guys, have a great night. Take care of yourselves. You're the only ones who can really do it. Yes, other people can help you in your life, and they can be there for you, and you have beautiful, meaningful relationships. But what happens if something happens to that relationship, or if something happens to that person? You need to be there for yourself. So please take care of yourself. If you don't know how, start learning now. There is a plethora of information on the internet learning how to take care of yourself. I've been partaking in it. I love learning how to take better care of myself, because it's not something that came intuitively to me for a long time. And now I'm doing it, and it feels great. So Take care. Oh, Stephen Yarnell. Oh, Stephen Yarnell came in at the end. You're coming in as I'm saying goodbye to people as I go eat, but it's great to see you, Stephen. I hope you're doing well. I've missed you. Yeah. Stunt Brat says you're too young to give advice, spelled like Carl Jung. I love it. I appreciate it. Wait. Hang on. Oh, wait. Do I have to do was the Holocron Library Fox asked if the ban was intentional. Was someone banned? Did I miss some drama that I don't know about? I hope not. Yeah, John Williams is the soul of Star Wars. Keep lots of hope for him. I agree. I love John Williams so much. He was truly the best concert I've ever been to, and he was so loving and sweet and appreciative of his audience. Oh my gosh, so good. My first concert ever, fun fact, some of you might know this, was the Monkees, because I was obsessed with the Monkees growing up. For some reason, I loved the Monkees. I used to watch reruns of the Monkees, and I actually had a lot of the Monkees memorabilia, and I went to see them for my first concert when I was 14 with my parents at the Oakdale Theater in Wallingford, Connecticut, I think. I used to be a member. They had this black and white like subscription magazine that I paid for monthly to be a subscriber to like this Monkees magazine. I like the Monkees were from the 60s. And I was a 14-year-old in the 90s. I don't know how that happened, but I love them. I loved the Monkees. Oh, speaking of which, Me and Magdalena, great song. Check it out. It has a couple of the Monkees members singing it. It's modern, and it was written by the guy that the lead singer of Death Cab for Cutie, who's a really great music writer. Bringing it all back to 6 Feet Under. Great soundtrack in 6 Feet Under, by the way. Anyway. Oh my gosh. Daydream Believer. Yes. Yeah. Well, oh, okay, hang on. Yes, Optic Racer. I saw the Monkees. I saw the Monkees live. Yes. Okay, and Hologron. Oh, well, if there's drama, I've missed that too. I've not seen anything out of line from the one band. Who is banned? Who is banned? I don't know. Who is banned? Can someone tell me who is banned? Because I didn't know about that. I didn't see anything out of line from anyone. I do want to go. I do want to eat my dinner. I really do. But I first want to know because I want to make sure there wasn't a mistake made for banning someone that didn't need to be banned. So let me know, guys. Hmm. Eddie's, yeah, 90s had reruns of the Monkees show. It did. And I watched them. I love them. Jedi Bunny, I've unhidden the person. I assumed sausage fingers. Sausage fingers. That sounds vaguely familiar. I think I've seen sausage fingers on the channel before. I don't remember if they were a disruptive person. Sausage finger thought that sausage fingers. Would you like to show yourself and explain yourself? Are you a troll? Is there a reason someone banned you? Let's see. I'm here. I'm here for the tea. I'm here for the juice. I'm here for the popcorn. I'm watching. I'm gonna have to pee soon too. Oh. King of Ruckus hid Stalin fingers. I assume Stalin Falcon. What? I assume he mistapped on his mobile or something. Oh, Stalin Falcon. Oh. I never even saw Stalin Falcon. Stalin Falcon. Stalin fingers, Stalin Falcon, sausage fingers. Who is this person? I'm so confused. Mangia che mangia. Thank you, Steve. I appreciate the Italian coming out because I am getting hungry, but I need to solve this. I need to solve this mystery of Stalin Falcon. Hi, Stalin Falcon. What happened? Do you know what happened? If anyone knew what happened, I would assume it would be you. Salad fingers flashbacks. Alyssa, there's been a great disturbance in the force. Oh, so now I'm hungry and I have to pee. I have to pee, guys. I have to pee. And Nova's making weird noises in the apartment. I don't know where she is, so I do have to go. But I kind of want to know what happened with Stalin Falcon. Anyway, I now know think. I know not think. Well, my confusion is confused. It's 8. Oh my gosh, it's 8, you guys. I have to eat. Okay, I really do have to eat. I can't. I'm like one of those people where I can't eat. I can't wait this long to eat. I really do have to go. But this has been an amazing stream. Thank you so much for all of you who are here. I hope to see you all again very soon. And I will try to stream more. I know I always say that, but because this was such a fun experience, I'm hoping I'll do it again soon and I won't be as scared and anxious next time because it was really fun. Okay. Okay. King of Ruckus. If it was me, it was absolutely a mobile mishap. I don't think I did anything, but oh my god, Kelly, go urinate. You do too much for us. Yeah, that's the thing. I know King of Ruckus wouldn't do it unless someone was like really being a D word bag, because King of Ruckus is a very easygoing, chill person. So yeah, it was unintentional. So no drama, guys. No drama. No probs. No problems. Everything's great. Steve Yardell. Steve, yeah, Nova is the best. And the portal behind me, she was running in it before in the stream. You missed that, but it was really cute. But she does run in her little portal, which is very cute. Okay, guys, Stella and Falcon. I didn't even notice. LOL. Okay, well, I'm glad you're back. Okay, Holocron Library Box end stream A001. Okay, guys, I'm really gonna go now. Take care of yourselves. I'm trying to think if there are any special events coming up in the world. Father's Day. Happy Father's Day, guys. If any of you are fathers or have relationships with your fathers, happy Father's Day coming up. And I'll leave you again with this quote. Speaking of fathers, this is a good moment. My dad sent me this. It's a Carl Jung quote. I'm reading it again for anyone who didn't see it before. As far as we can discern, the sole purpose of human existence is to kindle a light of meaning in the darkness of mere being. Carl Jung. Beautiful quote. If you're ever looking for a good quote or something to motivate you or make you think inwardly a little differently, Carl Jung is a wonderful and rich resource of wisdom and insight. I agree, Anonymous. It is a great quote. Great to see all of you. Good night, everyone. I'm going to go eat. Manja. Happy Father's Day coming up. Bye, guys.